All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to completely rethink how you interact with artificial intelligence. We're going to unpack how to stop just using AI to, write faster, and instead build a six-bot automated media empire. The goal? Giving one single person the exact operational capacity of an entire media company. Let's get right into it. So, let's dive into this. For a long time, the massive promise of AI has been speed, right? But the real struggle for creators isn't actually typing speed, is it? It's consistently finding original ideas and then distributing them without sounding like a broken record across 5 different platforms. If you're just using a single chatbot to churn out drafts, well, you've probably noticed that the quality inevitably plateaus. It just kind of hits a wall. So here's our roadmap for building your digital newsroom today. We'll hit 1, the real content bottleneck. 2, building the shared brain. 3, the 6 specialist bots. 4, the inspectable handoff record. 5, multi-platform distribution engine. And finally, number 6, the human editorial boundary. Starting off with Section 1, the real content bottleneck. Let's look at exactly why that traditional single-bot workflow is fundamentally failing you and what the alternative actually looks like. This beautifully illustrates our end goal. See, a media company isn't just a content factory. It's a connected loop. A true system doesn't just hand you a generic draft. No way. It gives you the research, the flagship piece, and the distribution campaign you need to completely own an idea everywhere. Single chatbots completely lack this structure, this ownership, and that crucial shared context. And this isn't just some theoretical whiteboard exercise. Look at this tangible proof. This exact multi-agent setup, trained on a creator's strongest research and packaging patterns, generated over 5.8 million impressions on X in literally just 4 weeks. It pulled this off by operating as a highly coordinated, connected loop. Moving into Section 2, building the shared brain. Before we go out and hire our digital bots, we've got to pour the foundation because 6 independent chatbots with absolutely no shared context, that's not a media company. That's just chaos. It's like 6 interns talking over each other in a cramped room. So you start by building an obsidian vault. Now don't let the name intimidate you. This is literally just a plain text folder structure that holds the accepted knowledge all 6 bots are going to share. You don't need some complex database. You just need a central index file that acts as the front door, defining what you publish and who you're publishing for. From there, you just have basic folders for your brand voice, discovery signals, engine mechanics, platform rules, and active campaigns. Simple. The absolutely crucial point here is that this structure is highly selective. Every bot reads from this exact same pool of accepted knowledge, but they only write to the part of the system they specifically own. We absolutely have to isolate experimental drafts from polluting the long-term brain. If you turn this vault into a dumping ground for every random thought your bots produce, it totally loses its power. The shared brain should actually become more refined and selective as it grows. All right, Section 3, the 6 specialist bots. Let's actually staff that newsroom. We're going to give 6 different Hermes profiles extremely strict contracts on what they own, what they read, what they return, and crucially, what they must never, ever do. By using Hermes bot mode, we are completely transforming isolated AI profiles into a highly visible, coordinated roster of named specialists. Think about it. The fastest way to ruin a multi-agent workflow is giving every single bot the exact same vague instruction to just make great content. Instead, we're making sure each desk has one specific decision to own and one specific deliverable to hand back. First up is your Signal Scout. It watches for trends and stops bad ideas dead in their tracks. It actually discards far more ideas than it approves, just to protect the rest of the team from wasting time. Once it does approve an idea, it hands only those strong candidates over to the researcher. And the researcher? It doesn't invent some sensational headline. It builds a rock-solid evidence package, separating verified truth from mere assumption by tying facts directly to primary sources. Next in line, the content strategist takes that evidence and chooses one clear reader outcome, tension, and thesis. It passes this super-focused angle brief over to the long-form writer. Now, the writer's job is not to spit out 10 quick social media posts. Nope, its job is to construct the deepest, most reusable version of the idea, the flagship piece that contains all the visible architecture, backed claims, and real-world examples. Finally, we hit distribution. And listen, the distribution bot doesn't just summarize the flagship piece. That is a total rookie mistake. It fundamentally rebuilds the idea for different platforms, finding completely unique entryways for each one. After all that, the editor reviews the entire package holistically. It's hunting for repetition, unsupported facts, or tone drift, basically acting as your absolute shield before the content ever reaches your desk. Section 4, the inspectable handoff record. To keep this whole complex tech build from devolving into total chaos, we need a strict assembly line. Let's see how the work actually moves between these bots. What really ties this all together is a visual Kanban board, creating one durable record that travels through the entire system. This is a game changer because it ensures the next bot never has to guess what the previous one decided, proved, or left unresolved. You get a completely transparent, inspectable production path, from early discovery all the way through to final review. Watch how this systematically builds. Workflows cleanly from idea, to research, to angle, to long form, to distribution, and finally to review. And here's the truly brilliant part. If a required field is missing, a bot will actually return the incomplete task to the previous stage. It won't ever just quietly fill in the gap with some plausible AI hallucination. Your content's integrity stays completely intact. The true value here isn't just generating another draft. It's this complete closed loop where performance feedback actually updates your playbooks. After a campaign runs, you record the metrics. Did that hook work? Did the format resonate? This real-world feedback teaches the system what to keep doing and what to stop, making every single subsequent campaign you run a little bit smarter than the last one. On to Section 5, Multi-Platform Distribution Engine. Let's look at a practical case study of how the distribution bot scales output, specifically looking at how we can turn one idea into a 7-day growth engine on X. So here is your daily sequence to stretch one core idea across an entire week. Day 1, you hit them with your main flagship argument. Day 2, you teach the architecture, and Day 3, you borrow some attention with an authority clip. Then we pivot. Day 4 is a practical step-by-step implementation guide, while Day 5 challenges common workflows. Finally, Day 6 shows a feedback loop, wrapping up on Day 7 with a highly shareable, compressed visual system. What this means is your audience can discover your system through 7 totally unique entryways without ever feeling like they're reading the exact same repetitive hook. You're giving each post a separate, distinct reason to exist, which is vastly more powerful and honestly way more respectful to your audience's time than just posting a link to your article 7 times in a row. And finally, Section 6, the human editorial boundary. With all this incredible automation humming along in the background, we have to establish safety rules. Which brings us to the single most vital component in this entire machine, you. The absolute golden rule of this entire system is this. The bots prepare everything, but you publish nothing without approval. You have to remain at the editorial boundary. Your job is approving central angles, flagging factual claims, and confirming playbook changes, so the bots meticulously learn your specific taste over time. Remember, every single approval or rejection is training the system to sound more like you. This is the major paradigm shift. In the old way, a human creator does absolutely everything, repeating tedious tasks and inevitably burning out. We've all felt that fatigue, right? The Hermes way dictates that autonomy should take the repetitive grunt work completely off your plate. But it should never ever remove your unique judgment and taste. You elevate yourself from an exhausted writer to the editor-in-chief. Now, you don't need 6 autonomous bots running perfectly today to get started. Actually, the best way to start is small. Build out your shared obsidian brain, spin up just the scout and the researcher, and see how they perform. The destination is a one-person media empire, but the journey begins with one foundational question. What is the one idea you want to completely own across every platform this week? Figure that out and let your bots do the rest.